This is the exciting part that I've been waiting for, because so if you want to sleep, just sleep here. Like, I've been awake since 5 a.m. I'm ready to pass out in this car. This is the Rox 01, valued at 210,000 dirhams. Today we're going to be exploring this car and I'm so excited. You have no idea. I've been waiting for this car to arrive here so we could film it, review it and experience it together. So let's start off with the front. Just look at this car, man. Just very minimalistic, very sleek look overall into the entire car. Look at these headlights. So it's very simple, very minimalistic. I really like how just like an L shape, and it pushes all the way back too. So it's a unique design that I kind of haven't seen yet on any other car. Here we have this grille here. Kind of like the shapes. Geometric style, little, it is in plastic, but you know, it does the job, you know. Same here on the bottom. And they kind of, it has this like design here. I'm assuming these are the sensors. Yeah, it has just some simple design on the sensors too. Pretty nice. Overall, this car from the front looks very mean, very minimalistic. We have here the rims. So these are 21-inch rim. Take a guess again. Every single time we come to the rims here, I always take a guess on whether it's satin, glossy, or whatever it is, but I think I'm gonna go with satin this time. Satin black. Very big brake calipers and brake discs. You know, for a car this size, kind of need to have that. It matches the car's aesthetic. I don't know how to tell you this, but some cars, the wheels don't match. Like for example, when you go in the Audi Q3, the rims really don't match the aesthetic of the car, but this one does. We have this side. We have support here to get up. This is quite a big car. Overall, very sleek with these lines that go through from down and up here. And then we get to the back. Guys, if you do notice these in the videos, this is just because the car is fresh. Here, this is brand new. So we didn't remove every single sticker or paper that you want to call it. But let's go to the tail lights. It has the same vibes as the headlights, but just in the back, you know, with the extra little touches of red. It has a camera as well up here. And you know, you have an extra wheel, just like how you have it in the G-Class. You have an extra wheel here. That's all about it in regards of aesthetics and the color. I like the white on black, but I think a black on this car, full black, would be incredible. That's all it is from the outside. Let's hop in the inside because I'm very excited to show you this car, guys. It's just #1 for me right now. In the Chinese market, this is #1 for me. So let's go see it. Let's step inside and just look at this, man. So let's start off with the door. You have two different materials, plus that wooden finish here, but in black. So usually when cars add a touch of wood in the interior, they always go for that very old looking vibe. And for me, it just doesn't match. So it just ruins the aesthetic of the car, because the car is like, let's say a 2020, but it just feels like a 2016 as soon as you see the wooden finish on it. But they did well with choosing the wooden finish in black. It just gives it more of that aesthetic look, and overall, great finish. Then here you have the speakers. I'm not too sure, it's currently not branded, but we have speakers everywhere, literally 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We have around 12 speakers in the car. Very nice. So now let's look at here. We have the steering wheel with a bit of a flat bottom, not all flat, but a little bit. So we have the chrome finishings on the sides here that matches with the badge. Not too much buttons. And you know, a lot of people would hate this, but I feel like, you know, the less buttons, actually you can have a bit of buttons, maybe not on the steering wheel. I feel like keep the steering wheel looking clean. You know what car has one of the best steering wheels in my opinion? Porsche. Porsches from 2021 and above, beautiful steering wheels. You know, just the aesthetic, the whole vibe of the steering wheel is beautiful. But anyways, let's get back into this car. So here we have a digital cockpit display here. It's very minimalistic. This entire car gives you that minimalistic look, right? Here, now we have a 15.3-inch display. Beautiful look to it. It does feel a bit all over the place when you first look at it, but it's quite simple, right? We have all the kind of different features you'd want to see in a car. And you'd have both the front two and the back two with heating and cooling. A lot of the cars that we've reviewed, some of them did have for 4 seats, but they didn't have the ventilation for cooling. They only had for the heating. But now this car has both, right? And then it gives you the option to switch between your hybrid to your electric, to only electric, and so on. Plus it just gives you different options. You could really play around with the entire car on this display. It shows you the charge that you currently have. Currently this car is on 2%. We have 5 kilometers on just the electric motor. But fuel-wise, we have distance. That's not a problem. And one thing I really did like is it shows you actually the duration. So when we're on electric right now, with only 5 kilometers, we could drive for 27 minutes, which is amazing. But regarding fuel, we have 3 hours and 11 minutes because we only have 36 liters. So let's talk about one thing that I really noticed as well. There's no push to start button. There's no key to turn. There's nothing. So this car, you just have to step in and it automatically turns on. And then when you step out, unlock it, it turns off, which is, so for some people, it could be very nice. But for I'm not used to this. You know, I'm not driving a 2025 car, so I'm not really used to not having an on button. But you know, it could be confusing maybe for the first couple times to get used to. But other than that, not bad of an option. Under the display, which we have a lot of options as well with it. We have a 360 view. We have you know, the parking cameras. It can automatically park for you, and it can get out of the parking. Let's talk about here now under it. We have the hazard lights, which is under. Very convenient, very easy to get to, because I really don't like the ones that are on top. The ones when they go up on top, I feel like it's harder for me to press that rather than this one. The finish that we have on this, I'm not quite sure what this finish is, but it has a very nice pattern on it. It isn't some of like, let's say, a Nardo grayish vibe to it. And then we have here 2 phone holders, but is one of them charging? There we go, boom. It's a charging. Let's see this one. Both are wireless charging. That's great. So for you and for your passenger. So let's get now to the gear. A very simple gear. It does remind me of an Audi's gear, which is nice, very convenient, very nice. We have 2 cup holders here, and then right here we have some dip down, so you could probably put your keys in it. Right here we have the center console, which you'd have your first compartment, very small, but it fits your things. And then you have your second compartment, which is very deep down, that includes a USB. And now let's talk about the seats. These seats, very comfortable, extremely comfortable. But I have a feeling that in this car, you wouldn't want to be sitting in the front. I think you might want to be sitting in the back. I don't know if you can see it right now, but in the back, we have some pretty cool chairs. A lot of people have mixed opinions about the orange, but so far we've had 2 of these cars and both of their interiors were orange, and I don't mind it. You know, I feel like for this car, it does match it. You know what I mean? Pretty nice, pretty comfortable. There's nothing much to it. I don't think there's massage seats, to be fair, on these 2, but there might be in the second ones. So we'll have to find out when we go in this section. Well, we have a small sunroof here, but in the back we have a panoramic roof that goes all the way from the 2nd row to the 3rd row. We have our lights here, which to me, recently in every single car we've reviewed, and also a car that I haven't reviewed, the lights right here, very useless. But that's about it from the front. We're gonna be exploring the features that it has while we're driving. But before we get to the driving part, if you guys are enjoying this video so far and you're interested about this car, just make sure you drop a like, subscribe, because we have many more to come. This is the exciting part that I've been waiting for, because this is what makes this car so special, especially for its value at 210,000 dirhams, which is absurd. But let's get right into it. So now we have here the 2 back seats. This is why this has heated and ventilated seats, right? I did push them back quite a few, so the person that's going to be behind in the 3rd row does not have space currently. But with that being said, this is the space that we have, right? This is the front, good gap between, and we have a lot of headroom. So let's start off with the door again, right? I don't know if this feature was meant for this, but you can take your phone and just put it right here. I'm assuming that it could be a holder for your phone. If not, then they should probably repurpose it for your phone. But let's get into it. So once we open this up right here, now we have all the settings and the customization that you could do with these chairs. Before we get to this unique part, let's press this button right here. Here we have a cup holder. Fits 1 cup, as usual, not bad. So we have cooling right here when we press these 3 buttons, and we have heated. And then here we have the massage for the seats. You can press this, you know, you can move it around, pretty sick. What happens if we press this button right here where the person's laying? And now we recline the entire back seat. So if you want to sleep, just sleep here. Like, I've been awake since 5 a.m. I'm ready to pass out in this car. But look at this, man. Comfortable. Yes, you won't be able to do this while you're driving. Maybe not as properly like this, but I'm pretty sure you can. But if there's no one in the passenger seat, this will be able to recline all the way fully, and you'll be able to be comfortable. You know, realistically, the best seat in this car would be this one right here. Because if there's no one there, full recline, relax. But if there's someone in front of you while driving, you won't be able to do so. So let's go back to our normal position. We have all of the settings regarding, you know, pushing the seat forward, backwards, you know, the leg rest, up, down. whatever it may be, you could control it from right here. Of course, this side has the exact same thing. Now let's get to another unique feature that's in this car. A full-on display comes down. I'm assuming it's the same size as the center console in the front. It's around 15.3 inches. Here we have multimedia, camping. You know, you can control anything you want from here. You know, here you can go access your Apple CarPlay, thingamajiggy, wired projection. Here, use a Type-C dedicated data cable for mirroring to connect switches, iPads, or other devices such as large screen gaming. How about that? But that's sick. Imagine here having your Nintendo Switch or your iPad or even your phone. You could probably connect it to the screen and, you know, watch your TikToks on here or watch our YouTube videos on those screens rather than on your phones. But I'm in love with this. When you press also right on it, it goes back up. Insane feature, especially for the price you're getting at. If, let's say, BMW, Merc, Range Rover decided to make a car just like this, just know you're probably gonna spend more than 500,000 dirhams. But this car is worth 210,000 dirhams and has all these features, which is amazing, amazing. Right, so currently now we're on a drive in the Rocks 01 2025, and let's talk about it. So under the hood, we have a 1.5 liter engine, which is not to operate the wheels, to, how do you say it, but like to drive the wheels. It's more, it's indirectly, but just acts as a generator for the electric motors that we currently have on the car, which is now an issue because we have 3%, so we have 3 kilometer range on this car before we have to stop driving it because it needs charge. This car presumed to give you a range of 1,100 kilometers. So this is a long range car. You'll be able to drive for a while if this was on 100% battery. Other than that, this car has all of the unique features that you could think of, right? It has adaptive cruise control and many more different features. Here we have also 3D outlines and models of cars and people on the roads, which is pretty useful, you know. It's up there in terms of safety. And if regarding safety, this car actually uses 86% of heated steel, if I'm not wrong. I don't know what the terminology for it is, but it's strong, very strong steel for the frame and the base of this car. And this car has a lot to offer, especially like the response time to the throttle very quickly. It's very responsive. This is something that should basically come with every single car nowadays. This is true, with, you know, quick response to the throttle and so on, but you'd be surprised. But the way that this car handles currently is just beautiful. And let's see how it will take speed bumps currently. Speed bump. Very nice. I'd have to admit that it definitely outperforms the Infiniti QX80 in my opinion. In terms of drive, it just feels nice. Like, I do feel like I'm also on top of the world. I don't know how to say this to you, but this is like a feeling that I've only gotten, besides this one, that makes you feel like you're on top of the world, would have been the Nissan Petrol. And I truly do believe that this is a competitor with it. Even though Nissan has a long history here in the UAE to be #1 for its kind, and you could definitely see that if we literally drive around for 5 minutes, you'll find a Nissan Petrol in every corner, right? Which is no surprise because it's a car that's very loved by the communities here. But I feel like sooner or later, this car probably will not replace it because you have a very loyal fan base. But it can be up there because this car feels nice. And I'm pretty sure if we take this to the desert, it will be able to compete as well in many different ways. I feel like the driving experience so far is impeccable. I would say this has to be one of the best Chinese cars that we have reviewed on this channel. And we have many more to come, so of course make sure you guys subscribe. So the top speed on this car is 190 kilometers, pretty low if you ask me, but the 0 to 100 is in 5.5 seconds, especially the size of this car. Let's see how quick the response time is and press on the throttle. It's pretty quick, to the point that the cameraman fell back. It's pretty quick, very responsive. I wouldn't say this is the quickest that we've been in though. In terms of drive, I really can't compare it with any other car because so far, for me, it definitely beat the Infiniti QX80. That's 100% ever given. I'm talking about cars in its category, right? The Nissan Petrol, it beats it, if I'm being honest with you, but I haven't driven a 2025 Nissan Petrol. We haven't reviewed it yet, so hopefully that will be the next car that we review. All the other cars that it's in its category, SUV, luxury, big SUVs, This is the best drive that I've been in. Absolutely perfect. All right, guys. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure you subscribe, like, and share. And comment down below, what is your favorite feature about this car? And let me know what car you'd like to see next. Peace out.